This is a titration reaction that we're doing currently in this lab. What we have is a strong base, an AOH, and a weak acid, which is acetic acid. So what we're trying to figure out is the NaOH, which is the volume is known and the concentration is known as well. But in this acetic acid, the volume is known, but the OH minus is unknown. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out the pH level, the changes. And what we have here is to figure out what the changes are is a universal indicator and a Pascal sparkling air that gathers the changes that does with the pH. And as you can see here, this tells us the differences and the changes that we're going to do. So a titration reaction would do a S curve, or a titration curve, which is S curve. And so let's get started. And I'm going to turn it off slowly to let just enough NaOH minus come through. And here we go. Start off slow. So let just enough, and now I'm going to start this as well. And as you can see, it's at 2.5 pH right now. And you can see the changing colors as well. The pH is increasing from 2.8 to 2.9 slowly. So I'm going to start to show the color is changing as well. So as you can see, the graph is increasing. So it went from 2.8 to 3.5 pH. And the color has now changed from a bright orange to a dark green. And to figure this out, we use Kyle to get this calculation correct and to get this as close as we can to the actual calculation right here. And we're trying to get this to match up. And as you can see here now, it went from 0.09 to an average of 4.2 pH, which is a huge increase. And as you can tell from here, the pH has increased as well. It went from a bright orange to a dark green. And if I were to let more NaOH minus go through, then it would turn to a really dark green. So the changes here, it was from a 2.5, and it gradually increased to a 4.6. And these changes are continually escalating because of the more NaOH minus, or the strong base we add into the acetic acid, the darker the color is going to be.
Okay, we can actually calculate. So this is some of the calculations we do in class. Okay, that kind of elaborates what will be the final pH. Okay, and we can also visually see this happening using our Pascal software. Okay. And with the software, you can actually move it, make it even a little slower, so they can actually see the progression of the S curve. Right now, the pH is at 5. Okay, since we started with a weak acid, so we can actually have the equivalence points probably happening above 7. But as you can actually see, at first, okay, we have to talk about this with my student in class. At first, you see this bump here, okay? We're really going to talk about this because what's happening with the weak acid, okay? There is a certain fight, not really a fight, but some of the ions are reverting back to make the initial acetic acid, okay? So this is what you guys can actually observe with this, the beginning curve. And as you can actually see, the color also has changes to purple, okay? And as it's So we can actually use this data, okay, to see that the equivalence is happening